All right, today we're going to tackle a grammar rule that, honestly, once you get it down, it makes a huge difference. We're talking about subject-verb agreement. Mastering this one thing will instantly make your academic writing feel sharper, clearer, and way more professional. It's like a secret signal to your reader that you're in complete control of your ideas. So let's kick things off with a sentence I bet you've seen a million times. You've probably read something like it in a journal article, or maybe you've even written it yourself. It looks pretty good, right?
So, is it correct? Well, the true answer is it kind of depends on what style guide you're following. But don't worry. By the end of this short explainer, you're not just going to know the answer for this specific sentence. You'll have the confidence to look at any sentence you write and know exactly what to do.
Okay, let's get right into it. We're going to start with the absolute bedrock, the core principle that everything else is built on top of. You know, the core idea here is actually super simple. It's all about making things match. It's not just some random rule somebody made up. It's about clarity. It makes sure your reader knows exactly who or what is doing the action so they can focus on your actual argument. Okay, check this out, because this is the part that can be a little weird at first. In the present tense, that singular verb, writes, usually gets an S, but the plural verb, write, doesn't. It's a little bit counterintuitive, I know, because we usually add an S to make nouns plural. But once you get that pattern in your head for verbs, you'll see it everywhere. Okay, so that's the basic rule. But where do people get tripped up? Well, it's when sentences start getting a little more complicated, with extra words thrown in.
All right, have a look at this one. Your eye immediately catches the word topics, right? It's plural, so your brain might instantly think the verb should be are. That phrase, of topics, is like a little distraction. But here's the trick. If you just mentally block out that extra phrase, boom, the real subject becomes crystal clear. The list is long. List is singular, so the verb has to be the singular is.
So really, it all comes down to this one simple question you should always ask yourself. Who or what is actually doing the thing? The answer to that question is your subject, no matter how many other words are trying to get in the way.
All right, now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty. These are the tricky patterns you'll see all over the place in academic writing. If you can get these down, you'll be in great shape.
Oh, this is a big one. You're going to see this everywhere. When you say the number, you're talking about a single specific amount, so it's singular. The number is increasing. But when you say a number, it basically just means many or several, so it's plural. A number of students are absent. Okay, so when you use ands to connect subjects, it's pretty straightforward. You're adding things together, so it becomes plural. Research and practice improve. But with or nor, it's different. The verb just has to agree with whatever noun is sitting right next to it. That's why in our example, the verb is, because it's right next to the singular noun lecturer. And then we have these things, indefinite pronouns. Now, words like everyone or each, they feel plural, don't they? But in formal academic English, nope, they're always singular. Everyone has to submit their work. Each of the samples was tested. It's one of those rules you just got to memorize, but it adds a real layer of precision to your writing.
Let's talk about some words you use all the time in your papers. Research, evidence, information. We treat these as singular ideas, as a whole mass of something. But then there's the big one, data. This is where things get debatable. Historically, data is plural, but so many people now use it as a singular word, just like information, that it often gets a pass. So what's the right answer? Well, it all depends. The best thing to do is check the style guide for your field, like APA or MLA, and see what they say.
You know, if you want to just sidestep that whole data argument completely, here's a pro tip. Just use a more specific word. Are you talking about the results, the findings, the data set? Using a more precise term isn't just a grammar dodge. It actually makes your writing clearer and more powerful. Okay, you ready for a challenge? We're going to tackle a sentence structure that trips up even seasoned writers. But if you can nail this, your writing will look so much more polished. Okay, look at this. This sentence is a total trap. It's so easy to get this wrong because our brain just latches onto that word one and wants to make every verb that follows it singular. But let's break down what's really going on here. The word who actually refers back to students, and since students is plural, the verb that goes with it has to be plural, are. But the main subject of the whole sentence is still one, and one is singular, so it gets a singular verb, has. So you actually have two little engines running in this sentence. One, has,
and students who are.
Okay, that was a lot of info. So how do you actually use this when you're editing your own work? Let's boil it down to a super simple checklist that you can use every single time.
It's just 3 steps. That's it, for every single sentence you write. 1. Find the real subject. Ask yourself who or what is doing the action. 2. Ignore all those distracting phrases in the middle. Just cross them out in your mind. And 3. Make sure the verb matches the subject you found. Simple as that.
So, you see, this isn't just about being a grammar nerd. Getting this one little rule right makes a huge difference. It tells your reader that you're careful, that you're precise, and that your ideas are built on a solid foundation. It really does elevate the entire tone of your work.
And that kind of leaves us with one last question to chew on. We've seen just how much impact this one small rule can have. So, what other little rules do you think punch way above their weight like this? What other small details can make a massive difference in how professional and credible you sound?